I wonder if I really need this light in my face. Hardly makes a difference, does it? I do have the flowers lit up in the background. And see, back in the day when I was with my kid's dad, we used to make things. We would do photography, really beautiful photo shoots with models and actors, and we would do different video content type creation, but nothing like anything for YouTube. If we were doing what we were doing then now, oh my gosh, we were a really, really, really good team. I mean, nothing's perfect, right? In business and everything, it feels like right now, it would be a good time to team up, but nothing. But nothing. Anyway, so these flowers that I got from Trader Joe's, this huge bunch of, what are they called? They're stargazer lilies, I believe. They smell so good. It's this huge, huge bunch. And it was only $5. When everything's so expensive today and you just want really beautiful fresh flowers and they're like $15, $20 for a tiny little bunch, and these were $5. Oh, I was really happy with that. So I wanted to kind of scooch them into the shot there. I could probably bring them in a little bit more, couldn't I? Let me do that. Let's see, because they're kind of wonky, right? About go like this. I still want. I am definitely not a flower arranger. Is that pretty though? I can't tell if that looks good or not. I sure hope so. Is there anybody on? Nope. Just me. Oh, how's that? That looks good. I hope this isn't making a bunch of noise. It must be allergies, right? I'm all phlegmy and kind of itchy. Oh my gosh, what was it last week? I don't know if it's because I kept getting like my eye cream in my eyes because I was putting it too close to my eyes. You're really supposed to only put eye cream like around your orbital bone and not like in on top of like your eyelashes because it will sink in, but there's just so much to remember in a day. Right, buddy? But yeah, I've been having some congestion and asthma, and I watched this video. I probably still have it on my computer because I wasn't done watching it. I don't think I finished it. Oh no, where did it go? Let's see. How do I see? Oh, here's my history. That's going to take forever. Can I search the history for keywords? No. Well, let me tell you, it was a video with Dr. I don't know. A female OB-GYN and man alive, did she ever give some interesting information about menopause, the newest research? I'll tell you what, guys. Every friggin' stupid symptom I have, even if I already had it, it's a menopause symptom. And will it go away once I have that day of menopause? Because menopause marks a moment in time, not a state of being. Menopause is a moment. The moment that you haven't had a period for one full year is menopause. That's it. Everything after that moment is post menopause. You're either peri or post, period. And apparently, all the symptoms that I have are menopause symptoms. And she was saying that even after you go through menopause, the symptoms could last for another 7 to 10 years. And they might slowly taper off, hopefully. And that coming into perimenopause and postmenopause, each can be 7 to 10 years, 20 years just going through a change. I guess I don't know. I mean, would I rather have it happen all at once? Yeah, kind of. I guess it can't happen all at once. But one of the first things she said about, was it estrogen, low estrogen? One of the very first symptoms she said was PMS and PMDD. As your estrogen starts to fall, and I've always had irregular periods until my kids were born. And so I haven't they couldn't detect any. No, it was low follicle stimulating hormone, and they put me on progesterone and then other whatever. So, man, my nose is running. You sit down in front of the camera and all of a sudden everything falls apart. But let me get a tissue. Oh, I guess you can still hear me. So, oh my God, I'm gonna sneeze now. Sorry. maybe this should be facing the camera. There, that probably looks better, doesn't it? Yes, it does. It is cold. I don't know where you are, but it is cold here. We had snow the other day, and now it's like 28 degrees outside. It's sunny. Hopefully, they'll let it stay sunny, if you know what I mean. And I love to sit here and have my coffee with the doggies. Where's my other doggie? Oh, I guess we've only got one doggie today. The other doggie's on the doggy bed. Usually we have both dogs and a cat right here. So anyway, I was telling you about this video. That's a lot of time to be transforming. I guess it's true though. I don't remember who was it. I think it was Deepak who said your body is not a being, it's a process. And I guess that makes sense. I'm a process. That's a nice way to put it. God, I'm hungry. I know I say that in all my videos, don't I? I guess I'm hungry a lot. Well, it's because, you know what? I ran out of my protein shakes. I don't want to eat food yet. And I would be having a protein shake. But like a lot of people, I'm just trying to, cut down. I actually don't love spending money. I do love having money to spend, but I don't love spending money. It takes me a lot to pull the trigger and make a purchase that isn't part of the normal budget. I love paying bills because when you can't pay bills, that sucks. The feeling is horrible. So, I love paying bills. It's so satisfying. But I like having money. So the other day, well, actually, for a couple of weeks, I researched what kind of gear I should get. So I got a couple of tripods that do different types of things. I got a gimbal, a couple of lights, and these days things are cheap. When I was a photographer in Hollywood, everything was expensive. Oh my gosh. And Amazon was not as much of a thing. I mean, we're talking 20 years ago. Okay. And you'd think things would be more expensive now. They're not. But this tripod over here that I'm looking at, man, it's a little sketchy. The legs, you have to click a button to fold them out, right? To go like this way. But you don't have to click that button to fold them in. So when you pick up the tripod, the legs collapse straight up and down instead of staying out where they are. So maybe you just need to reposition it. Well, so then you have to get all the legs back out where they were. And if you don't do it exactly right, the thing twists and can fall over because the legs, it's like, oh man, I really, really, really wanted to like this tripod too. And it does some things that other tripods don't do. But it already fell over with the gimbal on it. And like right now, I can see that it might be a little bit funky on one side, and it's concerning. So, like I said, I bought gear. I bought the best gear I could for my beginner YouTube content creator studio. I'm so excited. I really am a dork, I know, but I love making these videos and I'm thinking of new things. And the reason why and wanted a little bit of gear is because to make better content, I needed just a little bit. And man, I started putting stuff in my cart so that I didn't get overwhelmed. It's all in my cart. And then I go through and save for later the things that don't make sense for me now because other YouTube content creators have different things that now at this point, I guess, are on my wish list. But, sorry, allergies. But the things I got, I'll make some videos about if you're into YouTube content creation at all or want to start, or even just would like to have a little setup to do some decent pictures. I don't know why anybody would really want to do that these days, but I did get some pretty cool gear. However, it has, nothing's perfect. It's so close to being perfect, though. So I'll probably just hang on to all of this stuff and upgrade as necessary. But if you know anything about me, I'm pretty minimal. And like I said, I like to have money. I just don't like to spend money. And so I do a lot of research and I overanalyze it until I finally either buy something or don't buy something. And I know I can return things that aren't right, but I just want to get on with it. So I bought this gear. The gimbal's pretty cool. I'm learning how to use it. A gimbal is like a tripod for your phone or your camera, and it's handheld, but it does have a little tripod that you can put underneath it. And it's gyroscopic, I guess. It has 3 axes that it'll move your camera on. And if you're not logged into the app from the gimbal itself, then it's manual. There's like a little wheel that like a joystick type of thing. It's counterintuitive, however, so it takes some getting used to, obviously. But if you log onto the app, which I can't do while I'm doing lives, but if I'm just making a video, I can select, let's say I want to select my face, I select a square around my face, and it'll follow me. If there's someone sitting next to me, it won't follow them. It'll follow me. So if I get up and walk over to my desk, this thing will be like following me like a camera. It's like a camera person would do. So that's pretty cool. It wasn't one of the more expensive ones. It wasn't a cheap one, but it did get a lot of really good reviews. And the reason I got that particular one is because within its handle, it has a telescopic pole, so you can extend it. And none of the other ones had that. I couldn't believe it. Then I got a spider tripod. I'll show it to you. 1 second. I should have made more coffee. Okay. This is a small, it's gorilla, not spider. But it should be, right? It should be a spider. Look at these legs, they bend. You can bend them any different kind of way. You can let's say it's uneven ground or whatever, you can bend it to make it so that it's even. You can wrap these around something to hang it if you want to. See? What I really like about this, though, which a lot of the other ones didn't have, is this pivot head, swivelly pivot head. That makes sense to you? So you screw your camera on here, and then it goes 90 degrees. Well, no, it goes 180 degrees. So depending on how you have your camera, it's either going to go forward and backwards or side to side. And it twists this way too. So really happy with that. Still trying to figure out the best practices, right? The best way to use it, because sometimes I hang it up somewhere and it doesn't really stay. And that's just me and physics disagreeing. They have some heavy dutier. I don't know. They do have heavy dutier ones for heavier cameras, right? Heavier gear. See, and if I have the gimbal on it, I can have it on here and have it really long, but then stuff starts to get really heavy, you know. So between this and that tripod and the gimbal, that tripod can hold anything. That can hold my normal camera or my cell phone. This can also hold either camera. The gimbal can only hold a cell phone because it has the electronics that track and everything. I don't know why they can't make it work for both, but it only works for a cell phone, which is fine for now. Because the reason I wanted some gear is so that I could make better videos for YouTube, and have better quality sound. So I hope that this microphone is coming through okay. I can check that out. Check, check. It'll echo. Ready? Check, check. Through okay. I can check that out. Check. It'll echo. Ready? Check, check. Through okay. I can check that out. And a little bit of lighting, even though I like to use natural lighting. There were a lot of live times I wanted to come on, and I knew I didn't have the sound right. Sound is number one most important, and then lighting. Of course, after your content, but literally to get someone to watch and stay for 30 seconds, you need to have good sound. So this I can take with me. It connects to my camera. I can take with me outside, so that works for sound. Lighting, I can also take with me outside if I wanted to, but I know how to work with natural lighting. I don't see being outside at night too often. And then I'm just honing my editing skills, just kind of learning everything as I grow. And that's basically what content creators do. You know, there are like content creator master classes, which is fine if you want to pay for that. But what I'm learning in the other content creators' videos is I'm basically doing, although I have learned a lot, I'm basically doing what they say. If I could have gone back and started over, here's what I would do. That's basically what I did and what I'm doing. So I'm okay with that. I just want to see, like Mr. Beast says, he's like, just make each video better. Every time, try to make your video better in some way. So that's what I'm doing. But the reason why I'm doing these lives is this: there are people out there who have no one to talk to and want someone to talk to. I have no one to talk to, but I don't want anyone to talk to. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I have, like a lot of people, I have virtual friendships, so we do a lot of texting. But sometimes you want to talk about something. First of all, sometimes you just want some companionship, right? So open up your laptop or whatever and just put me in your living room. I'm more than happy to hang out with you anytime. Or jump on and chat if you have something you want to talk about. Once we get this rolling and there's other subscribers, members, and I guess that's it, subscribers and members, because eventually I'm going to involve Patreon as well. But right now, I just want people to be here for people and dogs to be here for people. Of course, if your dog likes to watch this live stream, that's cool too. Totally cool with that. Oh, I've been having a problem with music. I can't find any music I want to listen to because I want to ask Alexa just to play some music that I might like. I don't know what to ask for. So I'll ask her to play some music, and then after a couple minutes, I'm like, forget it. And then I end up sitting in silence. And I really love music, although I don't love music that I used to love anymore. You got bugs? You got some bugs? Come here. No, it's okay. You can stay there. I just don't want your booty hole on me. This gray sheet you see right here, not this green one, but this gray one, is not plugged in right now, but this is a grounding sheet. And my computer is sitting on a grounding mat, which is plugged in, and I am touching it. So then when I touch the grounding mat and then I touch Buddy, we're both grounded. Grounding is very essential for life. We are not grounded anymore. And everybody's suffering. There are so many different things that are like big main issues that people are suffering from and literally have no idea. Like grounding. We're not even we're completely removed and disconnected from our energy source. Now, I did hear something about the breath, breathing the air, something happens in the lungs to the air that electrifies it. And the tone that comes out of your breath, that comes out of your breath is a very, very specific tone and quality based on the health of your breath. So it puts out a frequency that basically attracts the same frequency. So we need to make sure that our breath is very healthy. I don't know how to do this. I don't even remember where the video went or who did it. But it was a scientist or doctor or somebody. It wasn't just like me telling you that. Shadow, what you doing, boy? Hi. You want to come up and say hi? Huh? You want to come up? Can you get in here? Buddy, make room. Oh, watch your tail. Come here, buddy. Okay, lay down. There you go. Now you got coffee with dogs. I'm sorry that I'm all stuffy. This is Buddy. This is Shadow. Where's the kitty? Kitty, kitty, kitty. Let's see. Can't see. Oh, well. Point about the music is that I would be listening to music. Although it would probably can you play music in lives? Would it get YouTube censored? I don't know. But I can't figure out what I want to listen to. I've really changed. I mean, I've always had this problem with music. And a couple of times in my life, credible people gave me playlists. Oh my God, that was amazing. Back in the day when the iPod first came out, a friend of mine gave me an iPod with like I don't know, 100,000 songs on it or something ridiculous, 50,000, I don't know. And that held me over for a long time. And then one day he's like, "Oh my god, this thing is so old, give it to me. I'll send you a new one or something." I don't remember. And then I never got that one back and I never got any. I mean, obviously I can go online and listen to anything, right? But it's about picking good music, having a ready playlist. That's not my thing. Like in that iPod, which I really miss actually, um, was a world of discovery. Obviously, I get it. I can go online and discover music, but this was already curated. So I'm discovering within a curated body of music and every different genre you can imagine. So that was really really nice to have. I guess I'm gonna have to dig a little deeper. I like to ask Alexa or play Amazon Music when I'm driving in my car, but I guess I could just go right on YouTube and look for people that have put together amazing playlists. Is that a thing on YouTube? How do they get around the licensing? Like coffee shop something or other. Do you remember? Or not remember, but it's still out. It's like one of the biggest kind of like constant streaming websites of like coffee shop jazzy music. How do they do their licensing? I don't think it's just all like B-roll or, side two cheapy stuff. I don't know. Was there a stranger dog? Hmm? What time is it? It's 9:09. Come here. You're my boy. You're my boy. Look at how invisible he is. Imagine out in the middle of the night, or imagine like coming in my house in the middle of the night in the dark and having an invisible shadow. Uh, all there would be is like you'd hear nothing, or you'd see nothing. And then Nico, who's in the other room, she's just like him but smaller, right? Let me pop Buddy's head up a little. Oopsie, sorry, buddy. There we go. So yes, the reason behind this live is to give anyone who needs someone to talk to someone to talk to. And if we have some subscribers pop on that are nice people and loving, wonderful dog lovers, and someone pops on with an issue, problem, or anything they want to discuss, a brainstorm session, there we are. Uh, although and I do preface with this, although I am more of an introvert and don't require a lot of people in my life, I really don't. I understand people who do, or I understand that people do. And I've been told that I'm a really, really good, I give good advice, or I'm a good listener, or whatever, something like that. Like, you should be a therapist. I hear that. And yeah, yeah, yeah. But here I am. So if you want to talk, let's talk. What you got going on in your life? Is there something you want to talk about? Put it in the comments. Let's dish. And I mean it. I've had some friends recently call and want to talk about what's going on in their lives, like some big stuff, big life stuff. And maybe it's because I'm different, I'm neurodivergent on the autistic spectrum, that I see things differently. That I just kind of have a different perspective. It's not that I'm very empathic, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. I guess I just see things in a particular way. And as humans, we are so, so deeply flawed and so easily led astray. And then it's just so easy to pop back on the right track, right? Um, and sometimes you just need someone there who can sort of help you make sense of everything and even challenge you a little bit on things that don't make sense. I'm not one of those super agreeers, like the other person's always wrong. Let's say you came and you had a problem in a relationship. I'm not one of those people that's just going to jump on your side and agree with everything you say. That has nothing to do with it. It's about getting to the bottom of the situation. If there's a problem, especially if it's like a recurring pattern, hello, we want to be healthier people, don't we? Patterns and all of that. Oh my gosh. And I guess, looking at my life and analyzing my life and going through the different traumas that I've drugged myself through. I mean, I've had to learn a lot and I've had to really grow up a lot because I was very naive. And I guess now I sort of have a better understanding. And really, what it is that things are not always as they appear. Bottom line, things are not always as they appear. You have to give things, people, situations a long time to earn your respect and trust. Earn. You have to give situations and things a long time before you know what you're even dealing with. And there have been people that have been married for like 30 years, and then they find out some weird, creepy, dark secret that their partner's been hiding for decades and they had no idea. You truly just don't know anyone. So work on yourself. Know thyself. And, there's like literally no control you can have over other people, especially their thoughts. It's just only you. And I think the more we just kind of focus our attention where we actually can have an impact is definitely best. Steering away from drama, oh my gosh. I had to Google how to make better friends because the friends I had were pieces of shit. And I realized that I didn't even pick them, they picked me. What's that mean? I'm an easy target. And I've had a lot of like things, material possessions, um, family heirlooms, sentimental things, important things, of my body of work, portfolios, all kinds of stuff just disappear into the ethers, lost, stolen, broken, who knows what. And I've had to learn to let go of that stuff too. It's really attachment. I'm in this whole like release attachment um, lesson in this life. That's one of my main lessons. No attachment. Even the concepts and ideas that I had have changed. And I don't know what to think about it. I don't know why I had those ideas and concepts in the first place, and I don't know why they changed so dramatically and rapidly. I mean, I know why logically, but why now? Am I being mind controlled? Is this just a simulation, which I'm pretty sure, this is like everybody's pretty much coming to the realization this isn't base reality. Okay, fine. So I'm in a simulation, but what are the rules of the game? Like, just tell me how to win. I mean, come on, and just give me a break. So I'm just working on what I can, right? Which is guard my heart, guard my sanctuary, um, minimalism, no attachments. I've even had to learn, like, my son went off to college this year. Now, my son was homeschooled, so we were together all the time for 19 years. And he went off to college across the country, and I never hear from him. And that was in August, and it is now March. No, is it April today? That was very hard for me, and I'm getting used to it now. But it's like I really, really had to just release that attachment, realize that my job is literally as the like that attachment part is over, and it's time for him to be just another person on the earth, and I'm here for him, but literally, he's another person on the earth. And I had to just realize that, he wants to go start his life. And, my impact on his life has been chaotic and traumatic, I'm sure, among hopefully a lot of other good stuff. But being a single mom, a disabled single mom for all those years, no child support, living usually very far away from family, no help there, with like babysitters or people to help, I mean, I've had a lot of help from my family, but not in those ways. So being very isolated and raising kids and all that stuff, it's very hard. And I know for a fact that the things that I went through and drug my kids through impacted them. And the disabilities that I did or didn't know that I had, that I realized after they're clearly disability, their dysfunctions in my household. Oh, look. And a lot of things that, I didn't know going into it. Um, I guess if I had known all of the things that I bring to the table, there were a lot of like issues that popped up after my kids were born that didn't have anything to do with my kids, but affected my kids. Excuse me. So I might go try to make some coffee and leave you with the dogs. Right? You want to stay here while I make some coffee? Yeah. You want to take over the chat? Yeah. You can do that, right? Can you answer questions if anybody has any concerns about anything and wants to talk? Oh, can you do that? Okay, good. You don't want to lay on that ball. It can't be all that comfy. I'll be right back. Stay here, but let me up. Okay, lay down. It's a good boy. Let me up and then you can lay down too. Ah! Buddy, 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 buddy. Up on. Here. Okay, Shadow, stay. Buddy, up. Come here, buddy. Come. Come. Here. Come here. Up. Up on. Okay, whatever. There's Shadow. Get up. Up. Don't poke holes in my leather. Sit. Sit. Stay. Excuse me. I guess you really don't need to hear me banging around, do you? Let's turn this off until I get back. I don't have any coffee. I don't have anything, huh? Okay, just stay here. Microphone on, yeah, so we can chat again if you want to, but obviously I'm the only one chatting unless you chat, which is fine. Well, I only have a cold brewer, so I've got to wait like an hour for my coffee to be done. I'll show you what I mean by that. This is a cold brewer, very high tech, as you can see. It has, well, you can't see it. Well, maybe you can see it right there. No, not really. Well, anyway, so it has like a cylinder in there, like a mesh cylinder where you put your coffee or tea and cold water or whatever and put it in the fridge and wait like an hour. And then, and then you pull out the thingamajiggy and you have cold coffee, which I love, and it's much more smooth. Oh my God. The difference in the flavor between cold brew and regular is shocking, actually. So even if I want hot coffee, I'll make cold brew and then microwave it because even microwaved, it tastes so incredibly smooth as compared to hot brew. So I gotta wait like an hour for this thing to be done. Do I hear the cat? No. I'm sorry. God, that's really a bad habit, I guess, sniffling and clearing my throat. I will have to work on that. So I'm looking at my calendar. Today's Monday, April 1st. Good God. How? I don't know. And you guys, I just can't seem to do my job anymore. And there's a lot of different reasons for that. But this channel that you are on now, watching the live, the purpose of it is, well, first of all, I should have been doing this a long time ago, probably. But to grow it into something that is creates revenue streams. But the reason I say I should have been doing this a long time ago is because this is just natural for me. It's the same thing when I started the car company. It's like, why didn't I think of this years ago? And as I was sitting here trying to figure out what to do now, it's like I know the answer is literally right in front of me, right in my life, and I'm just missing it. And I'm sure there's still aspects of that I have yet to piece together. But I should have been doing this a long time ago. I wish I could mute you real quick because I have to cough again. But I can't, and I'm sorry. I'll just put my hand over it. So sorry. I hope this microphone sounds okay. I'll listen back to the video and see for sure. But I did hear some little popping, some cracklings and poppings in there. Really don't want to have to return a bunch of stuff. Like I said, some of the gear. God, I'm so sorry. I'm so disgusting. Some of the gear is so close to being perfect that I don't know if I should just hang on to it in its imperfection or if I should there we go. There we go. So on this microphone, I was trying to figure out how to clip it to my shirt, and then I remembered like up and down would be better. Up and down right here. There. Hopefully you will hear no popping or clicking or anything like that. But you'll still hear me clearing my throat. Maybe I need some Alka-Seltzer. I don't really know. Okay, so a few weeks ago, I realized that the cleaner I was using from Sam's Club was giving me a lot of trouble. I've typically used more natural cleaners, but I was like, you know what? Just fuck it. I don't care anymore. So about a year ago, I started using this garbage from Sam's Club. Oh my God, it does a great job. Don't get me wrong. But I did not know until after I burned my lungs with bleach how easy it is to F yourself up. So after I healed my lungs from bleach, I realized this stuff might be giving me trouble, and so I quit using it. And it's pretty, there's no dogs. It's pretty amazing how quickly I was able to breathe through the night without needing an inhaler. And I can't believe that I was not even realizing I was doing that to myself. I mean, that's one of my areas. Environmental illness, toxins. So then I picked this up from Trader Joe's. So at first, it took a little getting used to because it smells like a gerbil cage, but you get used to it after a while. It doesn't really linger. You know, there's a ton of other natural cleaners. As a matter of fact, there's one in the car that I hate to leave you without some dogs to talk to. I'm not really sure what's. Look at that. Look at what happened. Oh, okay. You can still see me. That's good. Puppies? What's the matter? I'm going to have to adjust the camera. Yep. Let me do this. Stay. Aw, that's a good boy. Is that better? Come here. What you doing? Yeah, my camera got all wonky. Here comes Shadow. Oh, he's a good boy. Oh, he's a good boy. Let me adjust the camera. Move over a little bit. Stay. 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 It's really weird because this gimbal, it's like a hair trigger. If I just barely tap it, it'll go crazy. So I have to set it and be really, really careful and let it. Blech. So what's going on? So on the channel, which is the Buddy and Shadow show, of course, it's about dogs, right? I started the channel out different and it evolved into the dog channel. And then just because I'm me, I put up the trend where you try to make a loop out of your eyes and your head going one way or the other or whatever. So I did something completely different. and posted it. It got so many views and subscribers. So like, what kind of content am I supposed to do now? But there's people commenting that I didn't do it right. Basically, it's like I know I didn't do it right, but I think that's what's funny about it. And so I don't know. I mean, I think I might maybe even start a different channel. I don't know why I would do it here unless I did it with the dogs, like trend fails, because I know for sure if I start trying to do all these trends, the majority of them are going to be fails. You know, I probably won't understand the trend first of all, which is I think crucial to doing it correctly. Oh, this is um this is what I had next to my bed last night. I couldn't remember what I had in there, but it was just have you ever had Tazo passion tea? Oh my gosh. That is my favorite tea. I drink a lot of it. And what I do, is just stick the tea bag in some water. You don't have to boil water or put it in the sun. It steeps regardless. So I put a tea bag in a big, big cup. I mean, this one isn't huge, but like at least 24 ounces. 32 is better. Let it steep. Drink that, and then add more water. As I go. Ultimately, the tea is gone from the bag, but you've had a lot of water. So when my son went back to Penn State after Christmas, he had lost his top for his tall tumbler cup. And so I gave him mine, and now I no longer have one. And so I haven't been, I'm like off my game. So I really need, and I ordered 2 replacement caps, but they're the wrong size. I didn't know that the Ninja or whatever has different sizes. So I went online and I'm looking at all these little stupid numbers, this whole like serial number bull crap. And they don't even make replacements for the one that I have. So now I've got this Ninja with these cups with other lids, but not the flip top lid that you could just carry around with you so you don't spill it, because I will and I do and I will. So what do I do? So I do have, for those tall tumbler things, I have lids that are just like solid, right? So I tried to just make more coffee in there. I would put like 5 or 6 scoops of coffee, fill it with water, let it steep, and then I can run it through the strainer. But that's just a mess. So I'm not doing that. I don't want more work. I want less work. Oh, that kind of work. These trees are blooming. It's so beautiful. It's like if you go in my posts, in my shorts, you'll see that I posted about the robins in the tree. We had a week or two where there were just birds in our bare trees eating the leftover berries. And so then they were all over the ground too. So it was all these berries smush all over the place and bird poop all over the sidewalks and grass where the dogs walk. Got to keep them away from that garbage. So the birds cleared out. And then suddenly, hold on. Sorry. Suddenly, the trees started blooming. And it was such a shock to me. I even saw it happening, but my brain was like, no, it's too early. Because last year, we didn't start getting flowers till like June or something because it kept snowing and snowing. Oopsie. So this year, to have these trees begin blooming in middle of March was really, really shocking. But that's the normal timing. But they're really beautiful. It harkens back to the days where I was very pregnant with Joey. I was in Glendale, California, and my room faced east, I believe. Yep. And there was a big, big tree right outside my window, and it was in bloom that whole time leading up to, like the last trimester, basically. He was born in May 13th. So, March, April, May, watching that tree bloom, and it was just really beautiful. And it was another very traumatic time in my life. And so that tree was, one of the things I was hanging on to. I know you're not supposed to regret stuff, but yeah, I do. I wish I'd go back and redo some shit. Like I can, yeah, like I totally wish I could. I could pretty much pinpoint the moment in time I would go back to and like reroute a bunch of different stuff. I'd say my first problem in life, the first behavior I had that caused me problems, and it wasn't it wasn't anything I was doing, it was something I wasn't doing, was I had no idea that I could, should, or how to ask for help from adults. There are many times just knowing that I could, should, or how to ask for help from adults would have changed my life. And so I've tried to teach my children to be very proactive, but even with my older son going off to college and some of the problems he was having, it was that he wasn't being proactive. So then he asked me for help because he knows that I'm proactive. But then it's like you're at college and your mom is, just handle it, but be proactive. But there's a balance, right? It's how, that's something I've had to learn how to do better. I still suck at it. Those sure are some pretty flowers there. What time is it? 9:47, so we'll jump off. We'll be done at 10 o'clock. I'm going to try to be here every day, most days, 8-ish until 10. Because one day there could come a person stumbling upon here that just needs to talk. That's what this is all about. Whether I'm the only one here for them to talk to, or there's other people by that point, I have no idea. Excuse me again. Is that your leg? It is. It's your thigh bone. Clear blue skies today, finally, and it's not windy. Alexa, what's the temperature outside?
Right now, it's 39 degrees Fahrenheit. Today, expect a high of 57 degrees.
Well, at least it's 39 or 57 and it's not windy, because it can be 60 and windy and it feels like it's 30. So it's nice and still and sunny. That's the ticket. That's the key to happiness right there. Starving. Sorry. We might need to light you up. Do you think Shadow needs a light on him? Actually, oh, the battery pack just died for that light. It's okay. I guess all the snow melted off of the rooftops. Yesterday, the water was just pouring off those gutters. Not today. And come to think of it, those gutters must be clogged up because why else would it be pouring just right off the edge of the roof? Huh. Did you hear that? That was my stomach. And that. Oh, I just really wish I had some protein shake. Yes, I could probably blend up something. I could do like a fruit smoothie. I do have frozen fruit and some oat milk. I got to tell you though, for real, my life is when we go from my life normally to like the very first month, if I start like go from nothing to my first month of like using all my Arbonne stuff that I love, my life is like 50% better immediately during that first month. It's shocking. And then it just keeps going. And it might not be like the best, but when it makes that much of a difference in my life and I don't know what else to use, it's the best. What you doing? And I'm out of it. I'm like out of it. And then then it's like, well, no, I've got to reorder, but can't all the time. What? I think it's funny. Like, do people think that when there's an eclipse, it's going to be like total darkness? It's just like a cloud going over the sun. It's like literally no different. It'll just look funky. The lighting will be funky for a little while. they're ready to EAT. I have actually been feeding them late or later. And when it's all windy outside, it gets us kind of like off of our thing because then it's like I wait a little longer to go out, because it's windy and cold, but it's a nice day today. Ooh. Ooh. What's the matter, buddy? You got the bugs? You got bugs? Oh my goodness, what's happening? Oh, what's happening? What's happening? What are you doing? What's happening? What's this? Get out of here. Hey, we're live. All right, off me. Don't do that on me. Hey, careful. No, there's a glass table there. You can't play here like that. Hey, knock it off. You're going to kill me. Okay, wait. See, I told you there's a glass table right there, dummy. What time is it? Okay, we've got 4 minutes. And then we'll feed the dogs. Cut the line. Cut the feed. Feed the dogs. Cut the feed. Oh my God, I'm starving. I'm just itchy. Is it you? Is it you? Did you make me itchy? Ow. Don't snag my sweater. Buddy keeps snagging my sweater. My sweater is made of all these tiny little loops. I guess that was a bad choice on my part. Woof, woof, woof. Woof, woof, woof. Okay, I'm the only one on now, so I guess I can go. I know. You want to say goodbye to nobody? What's that? Oh, that's because I have the sound off. It's 9:58. Nobody's on. We're just staying for one more minute. Stay until 10 o'clock. I might not always be on at 8, but I'll stay until 10 if I can. There's just animal hair everywhere no matter what I do. Hope you have a beautiful day. See you tomorrow around 8 o'clock for coffee with dogs. Which I can't stop from here. I actually have to okay, it's 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Go live your day. Let me know if you need anything. The dogs are here to take your calls. Okay. I have to stand up, Shadow.